I could feel that laugh wasn't harmless. It had weight behind it. The type that cuts into you quietly but deep. It was a Friday night, one that should have been chill and simple. My wife, Claire, and I were out having dinner with her co-workers. The table was full of high-status professionals, accountants, marketing execs, people who measured worth in job titles and crisp tailored suits. I didn't fit their world. So, Daniel, one guy asked casually while swirling his wine, "You're still doing that app thing?" Before I even finished inhaling to reply, Claire laughed. "Oh, his grand master project?" "Yeah, 3 years strong. I call it our imaginary startup." The entire table cracked up. My throat tightened. I forced a weak smile, while my chest felt like it was folding in from the inside. "It's not imaginary," I said quietly. "I'm almost done with the beta." But nobody cared. Claire was still laughing. She used to believe in me. Back when we lived in that tiny one-bedroom apartment, she used to hand me coffee at 2 a.m. while I coded and remind me that someday we'd tell this story with pride. Somewhere along the way, her belief turned into entertainment at my expense. On the ride home, silence sat between us like a frozen lake, still, cold, and threatening to shatter. Eventually she sighed. "Daniel, stop taking everything so seriously. We were just joking." I clenched the wheel. "You humiliated me in front of everyone, Claire." She stared out the window and said, "Maybe if you actually had something to show after 3 years, there would be nothing to laugh at." That hit harder than I expected. I didn't argue back. I just kept driving, each mile mentally dragging me further from who I used to be. Hopeful, driven, in love. The next morning, she was smiling at her phone, her face soft in a way I hadn't seen directed toward me in a long time. Something twisted inside. "Who's that?" I asked. She instantly locked her screen. "No one, just a friend from work." That word friend suddenly carried a different temperature. Weeks went by. Claire drifted further away. Her laughs were reserved only for her phone. Dinner turned into silence, just bills and schedules. Nothing real. One evening, I came home early from the co-working space. The lights were low. Her phone was buzzing on the counter. A message preview popped up. "Can't wait to see you again tonight, Heartsuit." Brian, her boss. My heart stopped. I stared at the phone for a long moment, then placed it exactly how it was before. My hands shook, not with rage yet, but disbelief. She got home, later smelling like a cologne that didn't belong to me. I asked how her day went. "Busy but good," she smiled. I smiled back. "That's nice." That night, I barely blinked. I sat at my laptop staring at the app I'd built slowly over years, the same one she ridiculed. Something inside me flipped. I couldn't fix betrayal, but I could decide how my future looked. For the next 6 months, I worked in absolute silence. Every heartbreak turned into fuel. Every memory of her laughing at me became motivation. I averaged 3 hours of sleep, ate the cheapest food, sold my car to cover server costs. Then one random morning, everything changed. A small tech site wrote about the app. A week later, a venture firm called. They loved it. 1 month later, I signed a deal worth more money than I had ever imagined. Connective, my platform for small businesses, was suddenly everywhere. Just like that, I was no longer a punchline. Claire found out through Facebook. She called me the same night. "Daniel." Her voice was soft now. "I saw everything. Congrats." I almost laughed. "Did you actually believe in me?" Silence. "Can we talk?" Maybe dinner like the old days. The old days. I could still see Brian's name lighting up her screen. But something in me wanted final closure. "Sure," I said. "Dinner works." She picked a high-end restaurant, the same type she used to bring me to with those colleagues who laughed at me. When she walked in, she looked flawless, polished, stunning. The type of beauty that once erased every worry I had. "Daniel," she smiled, "you look different." "Success does that," I replied. We ordered. We talked. She admitted things with Brian didn't work out. She said she messed up. She said she didn't appreciate what she had. Her eyes shimmered. "You were building something for us, and I mocked it. I was stupid. She reached across the table. Can we start over? I stared at her, the same eyes that once held love, then disappointment, now hope. I'm not angry anymore, I said quietly, but I can't forget. Her face fell. Daniel, you laughed at my dreams when I needed your loyalty. You left when things got hard. I built this without you, not for revenge, but to survive what you did to me. Tears formed in her eyes. I know. I'm sorry. I just want to make it right. I gave her a sad smile. Claire, you can't rebuild what you burned. When the bill arrived, I placed my sleek black company card on the table. She froze, staring at the logo. You're the CEO? I am. Her mouth opened, apology, regret, something I'll never know. I stood up, gave her a tiny smile, and said, Take care of yourself, Claire. Then I walked away. 1 year later, Connective hit a global milestone. Investors called me a visionary. Journalists wanted my time. But the real victory wasn't revenge. It was peace. I eventually bought a quiet house overlooking the city. Some nights, I think of Claire not with bitterness, but with strange gratitude, because her disrespect taught me something encouragement never could. Validation means nothing when it comes from someone who never valued you in the first place. Last month, I got an email from her. I saw your interview. You look happy. I'm glad you made it. Maybe in another lifetime we could have worked. I stared at the message for a while. Then I replied, maybe in another life. But in this one, you're the reason I had to build my own path. I hit send, closed my laptop, looked at the glowing city below me, every light representing another night. I stayed awake, building myself back up, and I smiled, finally not out of spite, but out of peace. Because sometimes betrayal doesn't end your story. Sometimes it becomes the beginning of a whole new one.